It's showtime.
Good morning. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. What a beautiful day it's going to be. Yesterday was gorgeous. I'll tell you more about the 70-degree weather, but we made the most of it. Nothing like having a fan out there on you by the pool. It's perfect, perfect, perfect. He's ready. He had a big weekend. It was his birthday weekend. I guess he's carrying on into September. We shall see. What's up, birthday boy?
Yeah, my birthday is about to come to an end, but I'm still accepting gifts. Good morning, I'm Jamie Cooper. This is Athens in the AM, and I'm back in action. I had a wonderful, wonderful time. If you'd only, Jerome, brought me one of those red velvet cakes that your dad used to make and bring us up here on the show. Do you cook too?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I do.
Oh, wow. Jerome's up here this morning. He's going to be talking about something going on. Joseph, thanks for hi-hatting us on the party Saturday.
Well, I had other things going on.
Right.
Yeah,
You were out of town,
Sure
too.
you did, yeah.
Take a hint, Jamie.
We had the game on.
I know you did. I did get home in time to see some of it.
Oh, yeah. So I don't think you did know we had it on.
Second half.
Yeah, second half.
Yeah.
Zach's got sports we'll talk about. Bama finally has a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of knew who it was going to be, but it became official Saturday night.
So now Auburn's got a great quarterback. Alabama's got 4 or 5 great quarterbacks. So we'll figure out how everything goes. But first, let's get to the weather, because I'm going to go out on a limb right here, and I'm going to say it's going to be another hot one.
It is going to be another hot one. 70 degrees out there right now. Temperatures, though, we're going to see high temperatures of 93 today. Feels a lot warmer than that, too. But there's good news. There could be an afternoon thunderstorm or pop-up shower today. Tomorrow, look at that, 88 for the high. That was the good news. It's not going to be in the 90s, but still, those chances of rain, too. Last weekend I said there was a chance of rain every day during the weekend, and we didn't see a bit of rain. So welcome to those summertime showers. Pop up and down. May see it, may not, but Lawler's Barbecue, thank you very much.
I got to say something
good.
to Jim Kelly and everybody at Lawler's Barbecue.
Katie, Miss Clara, all of them.
Man,
Great food.
We were coming back through Florence, and we stopped at the Lawler's that's over there and went in. There's no seats inside.
They don't want you to
The one on 72 there is just a go in. It's a drive-through or go in and get it only. We noticed there was a picnic table outside, and there was a family sitting there.
Did you make them leave?
Good reason, because that's the only seat there is. No, they were taking up the whole
Did they have
seat.
any shade?
No shade. It was just right out in the hot
Let
sun.
me tell you,
That'd be
my
miserable.
65th birthday party was this weekend, Jerome. So anyway, let me tell you what happened. So Friday, we're going to quit having parties because she worked.
Zach, wake up.
Wait.
Who are you talking to, Clint Legg?
No, I'm just looking on.
Every time we have a get-together, every year we have a party, one of us really has to work, Todd. I'm working. All the time. So, I hadn't had nothing to eat. She said, I'm going to go by Lawler's. We'll take care of everything, make sure everything's ready for Saturday. She walks in, they say, Gloria's here to get her food. Well, they all panic because it was a day early.
Oh, no.
I was just there to pill.
So she comes out trying to make us be healthy. And I said, no, I'm starving. Get us one of them turkey taters. When she comes out, she only has one. She said, well, we share this one. I said, share it.
I had to go back in and get another
It's the
one.
size of a football, though.
Hey, I ate everything in half the tin foil when I got through with it. I ate the peeling and everything.
Hey.
Jerry Lawler saw he was there Saturday. He said, man, anybody that eat one of them whole potatoes was hungry. I said, I was starving.
Well, I had their barbecue nachos, which I had never had before.
I haven't had that.
Golly, they were good. So anyway.
Barbecue nachos.
Yeah, barbecue nachos.
All right, Jerome, what are we going to be talking about a little bit later on this morning up here?
I'm Jerome Wallace, and I have a foundation, nonprofit foundation called the Angela Claxton Foundation. It's a foundation that I started after my mother for domestic violence.
So we're going to talk all about that coming up here around 6:30 this morning. Sheriff Mike Blakely may be with us later on this morning, too. Don't forget, invites everyone to the old-fashioned political rally coming up Saturday night. Live music, free pony rides, Todd. Hot dogs, hamburgers, and it wouldn't be a sheriff's rally without some good old-fashioned goat stew.
Goat
right.
stew.
Let's go to some sports right now with Zack. We'll come back. I got plenty of stuff to talk about this morning. I got to show some pictures of me. Here is Zack right now with sports.
Welcome to ZTV 11 Sports, brought to you by KFC, the best fried chicken in Athens and Limestone County, and also by Athens Tailgate Talk. Applebee's Tailgate Talk, where Todd will be the host of the show this weekend. We're all rest of us
Todd
out on the
Thomas show,
side.
hosted by Todd Thomas.
It will be hosted by Todd, and we got, I think it's the Sports Buzz podcast. We got 3 young guys are going to help Todd out this weekend. So we might be Wally pipped over the weekend and might be replaced.
Todd's going to be filling in for me the days I'm not here.
There you go. There you go. So,
Good.
Todd can do it. Hey, big wins for Alabama and Auburn this weekend. Alabama, big 51-14 win. Auburn 21-16 over Washington. And I believe it's been decided who the quarterback is, Jamie. Even though Nick Saban announced who it was officially yesterday, after all the stuff with Maria Taylor. And by the way, of course, Sunday morning, Paul Feinbaum, who I know some people love, he just the biggest agitator there is. He called Saban classless and just dogged him out on ESPN the other day. And then he comes back and says, you know, after he come back and said, I apologize to Maria Taylor. He said, oh, he's apologized to me before, too. He's got mad at me. So, I mean, you know, so everybody was all on Saban Sunday morning, and they didn't realize Saturday night, right after the game, that happened. He apologized. So that happened. But Greg McElroy said Nick Saban can lose the team by playing 2 quarterbacks. So we'll see how this is going to go moving forward. I believe you won't even see Jalen Hurts play Saturday. I believe he will be redshirted and move on we have 2 years eligibility. Because I believe Nick Saban's going to do the right thing. He loves Jalen Hurts. That's why he wouldn't go out and talk bad about him, and everybody was wanting him to do it. So that just okay. I'll get off
The opinions of our sports director, Zack, are his and his alone.
And I like Jalen too. It's just he's been outperformed.
Let me tell you how bad Zack is. Zack comes over. He's bad. He comes over to the house.
We couldn't get him to leave.
You know, it wasn't a Bama football party. We were going to have the Auburn game on because there were Auburn fans
If you'd
there
been there,
too.
you'd have seen that.
However, Zack was like, I don't care nothing about watching the Auburn game. It was like he couldn't even let his eyes watch
I did watch it though, Brad.
Brad, he was bad.
That's because Zack
I did watch
he
Auburn.
couldn't get out of it. He was stuck in it.
Yeah.
I did. I sat in that chair and I couldn't get up. But hey,
That's the feeling I get when I go to Tuscaloosa.
yeah,
It gets all over me.
So every SEC team went over the weekend except Tennessee. Poor Jeremy Pruitt, he had a tough one. Got beat 40-14 to West Virginia. And then little local high school action. East Limestone Thursday night beat West Limestone 34-3. And also other local teams that won this weekend were Athens, Ardmore, and Clements. And East Limestone will have a big game Friday night going to Madison Academy. So we'll see what happens.
Is that why you was there last Friday scouting?
We were scouting. Did you see me there?
Well, Carissa said, why is Zack posting pictures from Madison Academy game?
Oh, he's a spy, man.
I said, wait a minute, they play them.
I was with Coach Pugh and Coach Legg. We was over there.
They're scouting.
We were doing a little scouting, and so.
All right,
Jamie Bateman.
One thing about this show is I like to talk about me. As soon as it was my birthday party, I'm going to talk more
figured that
about
out
me
5
than
minutes
usual
after he
today.
got here.
Yeah.
Let's show some photographs. Let me get cranking up here. And by the way, I've got somewhat of a cold.
That was the best gift ever.
Well, this was the first gift
You know what
brought
that is?
in by my favorite
Is that
lady.
chicken fingers?
No,
No, this
fried okra.
Sheila Lauderdale.
that's fried okra.
That, I
Goodness.
don't care of all the millions of gifts I got. That was eaten up in a heartbeat.
I would eat off of that plate.
It was
Oh,
delicious. It was big too.
I finished it up yesterday. I saved a bag in the refrigerator.
Oh my
She
goodness.
for
She
you.
makes the best. In fact, we're going into business. Fried okra.
No, you're not.
Yeah, just sell it by the bags like at football games. People would eat it like
Oh,
popcorn.
it was incredible.
Look at that.
She's up. There's the Three Stooges up there behind me.
Hey, speaking of that one stooge
Oh,
in the
birthday.
back, Hell's
Hey,
birthday
today's
boy.
Jay's birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Jay Vassar.
Today is Jay Vassar's birthday. He's
But what'd you get?
42.
49.
Is he
49.
50?
49.
Okay, I saw it at church Sunday.
So what was that second gift you got? That second, go back, Brad. That second gift you got, what was that?
That shirt.
No, what are you holding up? Einstein?
The
Pair of
shoes.
cleats?
The shoes.
We already talked about the shoe.
Oh,
I'm going to talk about it again here in just a minute. And Zach's parents got me a shirt. I wore it. Zach, I ain't never wearing that shirt again during hot weather. We had that thing at church outdoors Sunday morning, place of Sunday school. That thing was like a piece of plastic sticker.
That thing is stinging. You put a T-shirt up on it.
Well, I didn't
that's
wear it. I
a
just
sweet
showed them off.
Is that not
Look
the
at
cutest
Jack.
thing?
That's cute.
It was game day at church, and the big thing was, you know, you can be for different teams. We're all on Team Jesus team. So it was
Yeah,
just
Dusty
good
tied it all in
unity.
great.
Yes, it
That
was.
wonderful. That was hot out. There he is.
that chair, just smoke, fellas. If y'all want a comfortable chair, go sit in that one, dude.
Looks like it swallowed you up.
It's like the castle chair.
Wolverine.
Wolverine, my mailman.
Oh, okay.
He's still mad about that Michigan game.
Oh, I won't
It
even
is.
talk to him about it.
Yeah,
I bet it
Wolverine.
is.
Funny.
Look at entertainment setting up,
Yeah,
Chris.
entertainment setting up on the back porch. Jen, yep, there's me in the
Is
front.
that Tim
one.
Smith? Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was.
Hey, man, old
Hey.
Vince right there on the right, mate. Look at the desserts we had. Made some homemade ice cream. I ate 2 bowls of it with some cake down in the bottom of that cup, that large cup. All right, here's what I got now. Well, I'm going to leave this up here. I want everybody that comes on the show, Jerome, here
Oh,
on
my
now, start
goodness.
putting money in my bank,
A penny.
my piggy bank.
A penny.
I like that piggy bank.
Let's see what I
You got a
in
penny?
here.
No, it's a whole more than a penny. I'm talking greenbacks, man. Greenbacks. Got to give a shout out to Jerry and Penny Lawler this morning. Got me some socks. Jerry said, why don't you wear them shirts, son? Because I wore shorts.
You can't wear
Bama
those with
socks.
shorts.
I've been reading. And this is what Zack and his parents got me. I wore this without a t-shirt. Zack, I like to show my body. And
Yeah, because normally I
that's the
would wear.
wrong thing to wear when it's 95 degrees.
Hand me that bank.
The first penny. And Todd.
It's official.
These Nike shoes right here. But here's what I got. Thank you. It's the best gift I got. Right now, Jerome, you got a match on you. You got a big watch, I noticed. Anybody here got a match?
No.
No.
Why?
Because I'm fixing to burn this stuff.
Why? You going to be an Auburn fan?
No.
It's Nike.
No. No, wait a minute. Nike's, I
Oh,
brought
the
my
Nike.
Nike socks too. You ain't heard what's happening?
Uh-uh.
Colin Kaepernick has been named the face of the 30th annual Nike products, 30th anniversary.
Do you know what people are doing?
People are burning their Nike gear across America,
To
protesting
protest him.
that.
I'm not going to burn my Nikes.
First of all, you spend a lot
So-
of money on those Nike products.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
about, look at people burning their stuff because they're
Wow.
protesting that. I mean, oh, and I've got some of the stuff here.
I
They're
ain't-
burning it, forcing us to choose. People are saying forcing us to choose between our favorite shoes or our country. When did the American flag and national anthem become fair game to become offensive?
Everybody just get over
I don't
it.
know.
Yeah, let's just
My
all
goodness.
move on, please.
Gosh.
Well, I mean,
The
really,
world
Zach,
will be
what's your
offended
opinion
every
on
time
that?
you turn around.
I mean, I don't know how Nike can make him the. I mean, I don't. I
Look,
just-
look at Todd the Bod. He's
But
got
I
a
just-
Nike tattoo.
But,
Burning it.
but I'm not going.
Wait a minute, Todd. Come up here, stand right here, big Todd.
Nick
I'm not
Todd.
going to burn my Nike stuff, and I'm still
He's
going to
got
watch.
Nike. His whole body's got Nike.
I'm still going
on
to
it.
watch pro football.
His shoes, his
Hey.
shorts, his shirt.
Take your pants off.
Does Nike
Please
make
don't.
Those are
underwear?
Nike breaches. That's burning.
You've got
hat.
Nike shoes, Nike
Take your,
shorts, Nike
take your pants
shirt.
off right here on the show.
No.
No, no.
She don't want to do too long.
Anyway, I mean, ain't that kind of ridiculous to hire him?
kinda-
It's ridiculous
I don't
the way
know.
everybody's just acting.
His lawsuit, they're going to proceed. The judge didn't throw it out, so they're going to proceed with it into court about it because nobody will hire him after what he did. But to burn that stuff, thought I only had a match.
I'm not burning my stuff.
Well, I mean, think about back when all those people burnt their LeBron jerseys,
Right.
and then a couple years later he comes back.
Right. Waste of
You're
money.
right, though. Stuff's expensive.
It is.
Yeah.
We're in the world of the offended. Get over it. Grow some thick
But you ain't gonna
skin.
burn your Bama stuff.
Hey, I'm about to share a story with you in just a moment, and this young man right here, and it'll make you think offended.
Right. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Hey, when we come back, though, Jerome's going to play for the first time. Judge
Uh-oh.
Jamie. I ain't got a whole lot, but I got enough.
Oh, his eyes got big. He's like, I don't know what I got into.
If I only had a match.
You don't.
No, you.
Well, thank y'all for getting up with us. We'll take a break. Y'all, hang on.
Donate it to someone who needs clothes.
And now, Jerome, coming out like a stud, like Mike Blakely's racehorse, Judge Jamie. Sponsored by, can you hear me now? One Love
Nope.
Hearing. Hey, the
Yeah.
docs over at TOC took care of him the other day with his knee injury, where he could get to the Auburn game on time.
Oh, he's all
We're live. 2 million people tune in every day just to see this part, Jerome.
Okay, sure.
Sheriff, I just plugged your political rally. We'll talk more about it coming up in just a little bit, too. Jerome, this is why we play this game. Wrong answer, right answer. You are playing to win a can of Vienna sausages.
Oh,
My
yay.
favorite.
Or Mike Blakeney's favorite that he brung us, pork brains with milk gravy. Always a treat for breakfast this time of day. So y'all bear with me here.
Check the expiration dates on those things.
Yeah, if you know the answer, you just shout out your number one. I will give that usually to the smartest person in here, or usually the one sitting next to Gloria. I've scanned the newspapers this morning. Zack, you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Todd, you comfortable?
Yes.
Good day.
Athens City Council's got a decision to make on September 10th about these new apartments to be built on Lindsay Lane South. How many apartments are they looking at building there?
260.
That'd be a wrong answer, know it all.
120.
480.
Woo, that's a lot of parking.
How many acres is over there? Harold Wells is adamantly against this because the residents over there said they don't want them there.
10
Where is
acres.
it exactly?
Right here beside the bank.
Oh, wow, right there on the corner.
Right there.
Well, right behind the
Right
bank.
behind the bank.
10 acres.
Like go down Lindsay
Going
Lane,
towards
turn right.
Camp Right.
But here's the real question. Right now, because it has previously been used as agricultural purposes, how much a year in property tax have they been paying on that?
Zilt.
0.
That's close enough, $70 per year. If and when they put these apartments in there, what will they be paying a year?
0.
Couple 100,000.
It's going
Like
to go
that's
up.
$100,000.
Wow.
All right, they are building a new building, a vacant warehouse. They're remodeling it downtown Athens. This out of the Decatur Daily this morning. It's a 100-year-old building. It's built in 1927, 8,600 square feet. What is it about to become?
Microbrewery.
What's the name of it, Zach?
I don't know, but the Newtons are the ones doing it.
Locomotive Brewing Company. That is a right answer. Going to be making that homebrew over there, Jerome. What is the name of Decatur's first microbrewery? They're comparing it to you.
Brown Bear?
Huh?
Brown Bear? Or Black Bear?
Cross-Eyed Owl Brewing Company.
Never heard of that.
I ain't much on that. I ain't drinking all that. I used to drink homebrew a lot when I was about 13. My dad made a lot of it. I went out in the old days out in New Hope. Huh? You ever had any
Making up
homebrew, Mike?
stories.
Yeah, it gave me the trots.
I understand. What is pit bull?
Pitbull.
Not the singer.
What is, not the singer.
Not the rapper?
Out of Huntsville.
Pitbull.
Got something to do with motorcycles.
Is he a mascot for the motocross or something?
Jack stands.
It's what?
Motorcycle jack stands.
That is right. How'd you know that?
I ride motorcycles.
There you
Alabama
go.
pit bull. That is a right
Good
answer.
Wow.
This guy named Charlie Van Valkenburg quit his job, designs parts for International Space Station, and quit, turned his hobby into a career, and makes these stands for motorcycles that are sold all over the world. As a matter of fact, he makes more than 640 products and are sold for more than 20 models.
Wow.
What is the average cost of that motorcycle stand? What did you pay for yours?
I paid $125.
That's about a right answer, $149.95. See how smart you are without even knowing it?
Got it on
He's already got the
sale.
lead. Hey, is that the Huntsville Van Valkenburg?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's in Kinder. You remember Dick Van
Dick Van
Valkenburg?
Dick
Valkenburg.
Van Valkenburg,
Man,
yes.
the other day we went to a guy from Channel 31 died, and they buried him right near where they buried Dick up at the cemetery up there. We went up
Maple
there.
Hill.
Dick Van Valkenburg was one of them. Did you ever stop him as a trooper?
Oh, well, listen, I've seen him many a times at nighttime show up at a wreck scene.
Oh.
2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, anytime there was a major wreck, he would be there.
I borrowed his silent 16-millimeter camera. Silent now. You know what it means? No sound, Joseph.
I've seen him on set.
And flew with the Thunderbirds and did the first selfie ever, and turned right before I threw up. Turned that camera around on me doing 700 miles an hour. Here's what I bet you don't know.
They said officers got to where they would just mail him a ticket.
Yeah, you heard
because
that?
they
That
couldn't stop
troopers
him.
would mail Dick a ticket?
Yeah.
I didn't
It goes
know
so
this,
fast.
Zach. So now this is the first, and all you folks play it at home. Started in 1989. What is Alabama's official state mascot?
In 1989?
That's when they started with this. What is the official?
Not
It's not the Yellowhammer?
That was state bird.
What is the state?
It should be Big Al.
What is the official state mascot?
No idea.
The Eastern Tiger Swallowtail Butterfly.
Really?
What?
That's right.
And
know that
butterflies have been
Here's a
amazing
picture of it,
lately.
There it is right there. How many of these do we see in our front yard?
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness, they're
those are
covered
pretty.
up.
I don't know what that stuff Grayson Bailey plants, those big
Gorgeous.
yellow plants that are all over the place. That's the butterfly. So now you know that's the official state mascot.
Somebody would come a little more
I
stronger.
did not know that.
Hey, butterflies are
I don't
awesome.
think very many people knew that.
Oh, no, I bet.
Only the sheriff would know this next one.
Uh-oh.
We'll
No
talk
pressure,
about it.
Sheriff.
USA Today this morning. In residential neighborhoods that are kind of hot right now, selling-wise, Carissa would know this. What's one of the number one complaints people are getting?
No pool,
No, not it.
residential neighborhoods. No HOA?
Really?
Drones.
Oh, shooting photos for their
Drones. Is it
advertising.
against the law to shoot one down?
Yeah, probably.
They even said lasso them. What was, y'all big football fan, what was the
Lasso 'em.
score in Council Bluff, Iowa over the weekend on a Friday night? It's the highest scoring game in history. What was the score in the football game?
It was a high school
98 to
game.
90.
Let's have it, Zach. 99 to 81.
Wow.
Yes.
USA Today this morning. Jerome, you married?
Yes.
You might not be after this.
Uh-oh.
What percentage of married Americans say they would not marry their spouse again?
Uh-oh. Really?
Oh,
29%.
Mike, I'm going to have to let you have it. 31%.
man. Y'all better not admit it
A
on
man
live
who would
TV.
know the answer to that question. Who had flipped it. I forgot about that. That's right.
But all y'all love
How
y'all's
many times would
wives.
they marry their spouse again?
3 in my case.
That's a good answer.
Couldn't get away from that true love, could you?
In Aretha Franklin's funeral the other day,
Yes.
about how many times did she change clothes?
She didn't.
Was it 4? I knew it was multiple times. They changed her like
Aretha
4
Franklin.
times.
Are you serious?
kidding?
Oh, man.
I didn't see it.
Boy, that old preacher
So
sang
much
the
for
flat
rest in
jacket.
peace.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But she changed multiple times.
What'd you say, Mike?
I said, so much for rest in peace.
What year was the Cadillac hearse that drove her to her final resting place?
67.
It was.
No, it's
Look at
older than that.
that.
59.
1940. Who else did it take to their
Beautiful.
final resting place?
Elvis.
Elvis? No. Who was
Rosa
it?
Parks in
I
2005.
remember you said that.
1940 Cadillac. Wow.
Carnival Cruise Line just launched their new ship valued at $750 million. About how many people can get on that thing? Passengers.
3,000.
Wrong, know it all.
8,000.
10,000.
I'm gonna be really mad.
10,000.
1,600.
What?
It's 1,100 feet long, 20 decks, 17 restaurants, 23 bars.
That's 6,000 guests.
Guests.
So you got to have about another 2,000
2,000.
workers.
My question was guests.
Are there enough boats? in
Here's
case
the
it
question.
sinks?
How much does it weigh in there?
Oh,
100 tons.
I ain't no knowing.
100 tons.
Look at it. Looks like a woman's
Don't
face.
nothing weigh 100 tons.
I don't know.
fish.
I just threw a number out there.
184,000 tons.
wow.
Last question. Winner take all, Jerome, since you seem to be a lead right here.
He's
And I know
lead.
you're going to know the answer to this question. They had a big wreck up in Maine a couple months ago that killed a bunch of live lobsters. Matter of fact, there's 7,000 pounds of them.
Lobsters.
4,500 lobsters. What has PETA requested?
That they bury every one of them?
You think that's funny?
Well,
Cook them for
it is kind
fundraising.
of funny. It's probably true.
They have a lobster cookout or something?
Oh, I don't know.
PETA wants them, PETA has asked them to build a memorial
No.
that would remind everybody that it's the best way to prevent tragedies like this is to go vegan.
Oh,
Suffered and died at this spot. Are you kidding
Right.
me?
Come on, man.
That's what they're asking for, but they turned them down so they can't do that. A roadside memorial, it happened August 22nd.
Oh, my goodness.
Basically, right now, how much is lobster a pound? Mike, you're the only one that can afford to eat it.
Yeah.
$21 a pound?
I'm gonna say probably about $18 a pound.
That's about right. But now here's the real question. How many years old or how old does a lobster have to be ready to eat? Legal size.
1 year.
Actually, 5 to 7 to reach legal size. 5 to 7 years old. Anyway, so there you go.
Peter, please just stay
At
out
a
of
restaurant, they
it.
cost about $45 for a lobster. That's why I never. Do they serve lobster down at Catfish Cabin?
I wish they had lobster
They serve
tail.
raw oysters down there?
Yes.
Nah, I
I
don't
think
know.
they do. And they
They do
also have
crab
crab
legs.
legs.
Anyway, that's the way we play. I'm going to let you win today.
Oh, way to go, Jerome.
Just because you knew one of those answers over there. We'll take a break.
Hey,
We'll come back in
Bama.
just a moment. Y'all hang on.
I do love some.
And good morning. Welcome back on this Tuesday morning. It's not 70 degrees outside. Feels quite nice. Already starting to warm up. 93 for our high today. We could see an afternoon or evening thunderstorm or pop-up shower, that is. We do have rain in the forecast, but welcome to summertime. Tomorrow, a little rain in the forecast as well. Several days to come there with 88 for your high temperatures tomorrow, 71 for that low, and then 90 staying on. It's going to just be a hot week this week, so get used to it. Lawler's Barbecue brings you the weather this morning as well. All right, we're going to switch gears and have a serious interview right now. It's outside looking pretty good. Jerome Wallace with me this morning. Now, some of you may know his dad, who used to come up around the show during the Dan Wattell segments, James Wallace.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Jerome's here to talk about a nonprofit that he has started. First of all, tell me the name of the nonprofit.
The nonprofit is called the Angela Claxton Foundation.
And what exactly is that?
It's a foundation that I started after my mother. She was killed to domestic violence. During that process, I was trying to focus on battered women.
Okay.
Well, when I started with the battered women, I noticed a lot of the women had kids. So it grew from me doing it for battered women, troubled youth. I do for the homeless, the elderly, and I just go around the city and different communities doing a lot of work in the community.
Let's talk about your mom just a moment, Angela, Miss Angela. Now, when did this happen?
This happened October 10th, 1993.
Okay, so in 93, you were how old?
I was 16 years old.
Were you present?
Yes,
So you saw, this was your stepdad.
yes,
You saw your stepdad kill your mother.
yes.
And was this an abusive household for you for a long time?
No, it started maybe the last 2 years
Okay.
of their marriage. And, you know, we all tried to help him out because he had a drinking problem. And he just lost it one day.
He just snapped one day. Now, when you say the abuse inside the family for those past 2 years, would it only be when he was drinking, or was he abusive when he was not drinking?
Well, it got to the point where he was always drinking.
Okay.
You know, you could count the times he was sober versus the time he was drunk, you
All
know.
right. Being a 16-year-old and seeing your mother harmed in that way has got to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to intervene,
Well,
or was he a big man?
no, he wasn't a big man. The actual day that he actually did the shooting, we were all at home, my grandmother and everything, and I actually got my grandfather's gun and tried to shoot myself, but the gun wouldn't fire. And, you know, that was just my way of getting the blessing that it was time for me to stand up and do something
Right.
for this problem.
It's a lot to do when you're, I mean, being in a little experience of being in an abusive household, especially with an alcoholic father, it's very difficult on the children to not want to step in and do something.
Yes. Yes.
But how traumatic it would have been had you shot him that day.
Yes. Yes.
A lot for a 16-year-old to carry on with. Now, the day that he did shoot your mother, you said that he had gone to church
Yes.
and he was sober.
Yes.
And he just went over there and shot her.
She was actually getting ready to, that day he actually murdered her, she was getting ready to move into our apartment. And we were all waiting on my uncles to come to help us move.
Right.
Well, he had been across the street from where my grandmother lived, and he was watching every car that left out, and he seen her brothers leave. That's when he made his move.
Do you think, in your opinion, abusers like that, do they change?
You have some that change. A lot of times, it's always the same excuse. You know, I'm only hitting you because I'm stressed. You know,
You made me do it.
Yeah, you made me do it.
It's always the victim's fault.
Yes, but the ones who actually do change, you can count them on maybe one hand.
And it takes a big moment to get them to change. Like your stepfather was arrested, convicted.
Yes,
How many years did he get?
he got 20 years.
Now, you said you formed a relationship with him while he was in prison? What made you want to contact him once he was in prison?
Well, to be honest with you, at first, you know, because my stepfather, he raised me, you know, and he even adopted me and gave me his last name.
Okay.
So I thought that he would never do something like this. The actual morning that he actually killed my mother, he hugged me and told me, I love you, I never do nothing to hurt you. But then 5 minutes later, he did this. And
Not thinking killing your mother was hurting you.
Right, right. But when I gained the relationship back with him, you know, I was like, I'm doing what my mother would do.
Forgive.
Yes. And
And forgiving is not just for that person, it's for you.
But yes,
It
yes.
is for you.
yes, because I had to pray about it, and it was
It
hard.
wasn't an overnight thing, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
It was very hard, and it got to the point I was just following God.
Doing what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you speak, obviously you speak to him still?
Well, I did. He actually passed away 2 years ago,
Okay,
but I went to the funeral and everything.
all right. For such a man to get up here and do what you're doing, it's very admirable. You lost your mother, your father, your biological father has since
Yes.
passed away too. The man who raised you, stepfather who killed your mother, has passed away too. And now you're wanting to further it and help people more.
Yes.
How can people get involved with your nonprofit?
I'm on Facebook. I have a page on Facebook, the Angela Claxton Foundation.
Okay.
I'm setting up a website now, and it's just basically go on Facebook, either look me up, Jerome Wallace, or either the Angela Claxton Foundation, and it gives a story about my mother, how I got started, everything.
What do you do? What are you doing for people?
Well, one thing that I did this year, I do it every year, I do a back to school drive.
Okay.
Last year, I was able to help 6 kids.
Great.
This year, I was able to help 300 kids.
Super.
Everything that I do, it comes out of my pocket. I have no sponsors, nothing. Everything, I work for it, and I pay for it myself.
So you could use some sponsors. You can, if this is an organization or you know anybody that's been abused, it's hard for me to even imagine people that don't know someone who's been in a domestic violence situation. Why do people tend to want to make excuses for that abuser?
I guess you have a lot of people, because domestic violence is both women and men. You have some men that get abused too.
By women.
But I think what it comes from is the fact of they're scared. You have more people scared, to talk about the situation and what's going on in the household. And they feel like, okay, I'm going to give him one more chance, or I'm going to give her one more chance. She's going to change. She told me she was going to change. And then it'll be like the situation that I went through.
Right.
My stepfather was telling my mother he was going to change. And, then the day he killed her, it was over with. A lot of people.
Just like that.
Yeah. a lot of people don't understand domestic violence is a disease. You know, if you hit a person one time, you're going to keep on. You know, unless you get some serious help.
There's help out there. I hope people will take advantage of that. 326-9777 is Jerome's phone number. Contact them. That's the Angela Claxton Foundation. You can find out more on his Facebook page. And if this is something close to your heart or you'd like to get involved with, contact him and see how you can help him out. Jerome, thank you very much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, Sheriff Blakely's here. He's going to talk about his kickoff coming up. You won't want to miss it. He says it's going to be like an old-fashioned one. We'll talk more in just a moment. Stay with us.
All right, back up here on this Tuesday morning edition. Sheriff Mike Blakely and Joseph, you're not running for office for anything, are you?
No.
Sheriff Mike Blakely, you got a big kickoff. You say old-fashioned political rally. If anybody knows how to do an old-fashioned political rally, that's you. But give us the definition.
Well, actually, this is not, a kickoff.
For you.
No,
Not a kickoff.
this is for the whole community. This is for every candidate, whether it be Republican, Democrat, Independent, or whatever. It's a
political
non-partisan
rally.
bit. It's a political rally for all candidates.
But it'd help if they voted for you.
Well, absolutely right, and I'm going to take advantage of it by having some of my yard signs out there for people who want to pick them up, and also to try to register people who want to help get involved in our campaign. But this is something that, for years growing up, was always a highlight, going out to your local school, and then after the schools, so many of the feeder schools closed down, and they weren't in the community. The fire departments, local fire departments, started having political rallies, but that's something that's fell by the wayside. And now they have political forums, which nobody comes to. I mean, you have the candidates and maybe 2 or 3 of their supporters, and used to this was a great time for all the candidates to get out and press the flesh, to actually meet and talk one-on-one with their constituents. So we're going to have a big goat stew, hot dogs, hamburgers. We've got pony rides for kids. Brian Thomas is going to bring his real fancy carriage up there and ride people in. Then we've got 2 great bands that'll be entertaining. And all candidates have, the News Corps printed 10 minutes to speak, but we're going to limit them to 2 minutes. I mean, I don't know how that miscommunication got there, but I think there'd be enough hot air without.
Hey, you don't need them talking 10 minutes.
Hey, the other day, Lori and I were coming back from the river, we shared a photograph of Judge Jerry Batts, great person.
Yeah.
And Jerry told us, which I wish he'd told me this before the election, but he said, there's no way I would run for office now with social media.
Oh, and it's gotten worse. I mean,
No kidding.
Well, my first campaign was probably the most fun campaign.
They did have telephones back then.
They had telephones.
Hey, they were hand-making their
We didn't have
signs.
cell phones, though.
They were hand-making signs.
82.
Tell us about your first signs, the
They were
story she's heard.
hand-making signs.
Oh, yeah. So my dad, was a carpenter, and we had a shop over there at their house that we actually, we'd get scrap plywood. It wouldn't necessarily, everything wouldn't be uniform. It might be cut into a triangle or something, but if we could stencil the message on there, vote Mike Blakely, then that's what we did. We cut out stencils, and we went to Walmart and bought probably $1 million worth of spray paint, and we spray paint those things, and it was just totally different. You made all your signs back then. I mean,
What made you want to run for sheriff the first time?
that was something that probably going to these old-fashioned political rallies. I remember when Buddy Evans was first running for sheriff, and I passed out his cards there at the political rallies at Pleasant Grove. At Pleasant Grove, they'd always have a fish fry to raise money for the school, and then all the kids. And it was big. It was just a big doings in the community. Of course, you didn't have Netflix and 24 different movie channels and all that back then. So people really turned out for that kind of stuff.
You're really missing the boat, Mike. One thing you should have added out there, and it's probably not too late.
I was going to do lamb fries, but Debbie couldn't pick none up in Oklahoma City.
Lamb fries. No, what you should have done, because you hold the record for this, and I saw some video the other day. You should have had out in the arena a donkey basketball game.
Oh, no. Well, hey, I would probably consent to doing a donkey basketball game in the arena, but that gym floor, never again. I got bones chipped off in my elbows and everywhere else.
My goodness.
Well, you hold the record for those donkey basketball games, though. I mean, if they had a donkey basketball game, Sheriff Mike Blakely was on an ass.
Oh, is that right?
Hey, those are
Can't wait to
dangerous.
say that.
Listen, it's amazing how that hardwood floor, when you elbow hits it, how
It hurts.
Oh,
You know what
piece of
you
bone.
could do
Ain't
is you
nothing
could
funny
get,
about that bone.
bring somebody out of retirement to wrestle bears.
Yeah.
I saw that clip the other day. I remember
Hey,
that
that was
happening.
on Labor Day, so that was 38 years ago.
That's hard to believe.
Yesterday, that I wrestled that bear
38
live.
years ago.
That's when I could stay up till 6 o'clock at night, because I think we only had a 6 and 10 o'clock news back then.
But you probably would not do that today.
No.
No
Well, I
problem
don't
about
know.
it. No, I dang sure wouldn't do it again. Well, in all your years of campaigns, what's one of the strangest things that basically you had to do?
One of the strangest things.
You've dressed up as a woman. You've ridden basketball.
The first campaign, they had I think about 4 of those different womanless beauty contests. And I won Tanner and Elmont and Army. I mean,
I've won. Hey, that's something we got in common. I won one too. I got the picture hanging at my house.
but and sometimes you knocking on doors, people invite you in. And
Stay
feed
there,
you,
eat
and
dinner.
then some of them invite you in and want to.
Food
feel
and
like
Mike Blakely
worried
kind of go
about me
hand in
wanting to
hand,
shoot
you know?
Yeah, and
Anyone ever
Yeah, but-
mean to the sheriff when he knocks on their door?
oh yes,
Really?
that's why I'm saying it's gotten so toxic now and so partisan. And there's a couple places where I remember this last campaign. I mean, I'd never had this happen before, but I knocked on the door and handed them a brochure and told them who I was, and I sure would appreciate their support. And they looked at me and said, "You a Democrat?" And I'm like, "Well, actually, I'm a veteran. I try to be a Christian. And I'm your sheriff. You're a Democrat." And she started shoving the door too. And I said, I guess I can mark you off my list of potential voters.
But if somebody breaks in her house, she's
Yeah.
going to call you up. She's going to
You're
say,
gonna be
can
the
you send
first
a
to call."
Republican deputy out here?
And that's the
crazy.
thing about it. I have for years thought that, sheriffs,
ridiculous.
judges, and DAs should be a nonpartisan office. I mean,
I agree.
and I've ran as a Democrat since day one. When used to you couldn't find enough Republicans to fill up a phone booth. Now you can't find enough Democrats to fill up a phone booth. But thank God, that I've helped people, both, from both parties that very supportive.
Well,
of
I
that.
assure you,
I mean,
if you call the sheriff's
Right,
office and
it's-
you need
it's
help, not one person's
nonpartisan.
going to ask
No,
you,
I
are you a
mean,
Democrat or Republican?
And the thing that's so ironic is that probably there's the Republican Party. If they want to use our rodeo arena, they just as
Right.
welcome as the Democratic Party. I mean, I'm not to the point that
You're just a dang good sheriff.
well, I just believe in everybody being, we're Limestone Countyans, we're Americans. And, that's one thing about John McCain that I admired so much is during his presidential campaign, when the woman started making statements that was totally just showing her ignorance, saying things, about Obama that whether she didn't like him or not was fine. But, I mean, John McCain stood up and said, wait a minute, that's not right. Let's be honest.
See, Joseph, if you wanted to, you could probably get the arena out there and have a car show out there.
Yeah, but how would we get our cars on that dirt?
No, you do it on the parking lot.
Well, let's do that.
Hey,
First
You've got all
annual
that grass
Limestone
out
Rodeo
there.
Car Show.
well, that would be fine. I've even
See,
had-
I'm already thinking of you, Joseph.
I've even
We
had some
might
people
have to do
talk
a
to us about
Cooper and
possibly doing a
Company
car
thing or
sale out there, a car
Yeah, we
auction
could do
out
that
there.
too.
Car auction.
I could help you run that.
What else is going on in your life there, Joseph? It's the only shirt you seem to have to wear today.
Well, it's a good-looking shirt. Didn't get either one of those auditions that I tried out for. I was a little disappointed, but hey, you
That's
try.
because you're an Auburn fan.
Well, no, I don't wear my Auburn stuff in my auditions, so
Auburn did a great job in that
I
ball
was,
game.
Yeah,
I was a
yeah.
nail biter.
So what else? Any car shows? You going to talk more about that? When's the
Let's
big
see,
one you got
this
coming up at the
September
arena?
the 22nd at the high school, which I've been informed by several people is now the middle school. Is that right? We're having
They've
it
got
at
the sign out there.
Okay, it's at the old
Yes.
high school, between the old high school and the football stadium.
Right across from the kiddie carnival.
No.
No, that's where the high schoolers are
The
going
new
now.
old high
New
school.
old high
The
school.
new old
School,
high school.
Highway 31. Anyway, that's on
That's the middle
September
school.
22nd, and then on October 13th is our big show at the Sports Place.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Well,
got
I was
some-
saying the high school now is across from kiddie carnival.
That they're going to use
Yeah,
for the high school
temporarily.
until the new one's
Is
ready.
this you know, the same car show like they have on the square?
No, that's in the
bigger.
springtime. Yeah, it's bigger. It's 500 or 600 cars. This is the one that we used to have at the Ford dealership, and we moved it to the Sportsplex. So
huge.
It's
It's open
huge.
for all cars.
Sponsored by?
All-Star Plumbers. Yes. Had to think
Whatever
about it
it
for a second.
takes.
I've got lots of sponsors. Woody Anderson Ford, All-Star Plumbers, Holtz Pest Control, Horsepower Therapy, Advanced Auto Parts. So anyway,
Good,
I
it'll be
appreciate
a
all
big
our
event for you.
sponsors.
Yeah, well, good. Anything else happening?
I'll have some car shows to talk about Thursday.
Thursday, so.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to Sheriff Mike Blake about you, the old-fashioned political rally. Everybody, so Republicans, Independents, and
And the
All
way
candidates
it's
do,
structured,
but
I've had several people call me and kind of want to know what the agenda was. We have a gospel quartet that will start at 5, and then the candidates will start speaking at 6, and then after that, Bill Swindle and his wife Tina and their band will start playing, and feeding will start at 5 till.
All right.
now is the goat stew cooked on the spot?
Absolutely.
Who's cooking?
Randy Bates.
Oh, so you brought him out of retirement, huh?
Yeah.
You brought him out of retirement to get it back out there cooking. Well, that's a good deal.
Is there an age and weight limit on them pony rides? I think
Well-
Todd was on there.
We'll probably have some big horses out there too. Because there are some big kids that just about break a pony down.
Sure.
Well, we just did a story the other day over in one of these the #1 destinations now in travel somewhere. Was it Sicily or somewhere? And the biggest problem there, all these cruise ships, they drop off like 1,100 people a day, and the jackasses are worn out because people are so dang fat. And they're having to go to bigger horses now
pony
to
rides.
people to get on. Show these fat women riding them all around, and and they're about breaking them down. I mean, people are just lazy.
Oh, listen, I've had carry horses out to different little schools for kids and stuff like that, and you get the kids, and then you may have some teacher that, I mean, and I'm talking about that might weigh about 400 pounds. I mean, and you get them up on that horse, and you try to get them on the horse, and you're kind of concerned about where you got to place your hand to kind of get them lifted up there, and then my horse goes, ugh.
That's bad when your horse does that. Hey, I want to give another shout out to Lawler's Barbecue too. Thanks for feeding us all over at our house Saturday. That was a wonderful experience. Thank all you people for wishing me a happy birthday too on Facebook and stuff. It's good to be 50 again.
I still think he's lying about his age.
I'll let you know next year.
Yeah,
I think he's older.
Hey, 1 minute you're 50, next thing you know you're 65.
I'm sure.
All right, I got to take a break for the day. We'll see y'all later. Bye.